I have so many memories playing NES games. Some games are amazing, some are just terrible, and there are some titles I hear a lot of good things about, but I've never actually given them a fair go. So I wonder, is it really fun? On this episode of Is It Fun, we're gonna journey to Silius and find out for ourselves.
There are thousands of classic games and just as many ways of rating them. But if you love retro games as much as I do, and just want to know if a game is worth playing, then only one question need be answered.
Rarely does box art make me pause and reflect, but Journey to Silius is so well designed. It elegantly contrasts the peacefulness of a blue eclipse glowing over snowy mountaintops with the destructive human-robot conflict waging below. Most box art at the time focused on your character, but this highlights the story of the game. As soon as you press start, you're thrown into the war-torn action of a broken world. Crumbling walls, dilapidated buildings, everything looks aged and weathered against the backdrop of distant cities and a colorful sky. It's a great first impression, and while later levels aren't quite as striking, the lasers, flashing lights, sentries, pistons, and conveyor belts definitely deliver on the sense you're in a futuristic, mechanized world. From the opening cutscenes to the final credits, Journey to Silius is beautiful. It's also called Rough World or Rough World abroad, and it looks rough alright, like sentient machines have destroyed everything and taken over. If that premise has any familiarity in the recesses of your mind, it may be because Journey to Silius famously began as a Terminator game. Sunsoft's movie adaptations were top-notch, and Terminator was set to continue that quality. But unfortunately, the license was lost mid-development, and the studio was forced to rewrite the story and remove graphical similarities. Mostly. Meanwhile, Metal Gear didn't seem to mind ripping off Terminator at all, and neither did Power Blade. Or Kirby. The retooled story is unique and much more elaborate than most NES titles. Future Earth's population is exploding and people are desperate to colonize new systems. Jay McCrae, your decidedly blonde-haired protagonist, makes his journey to Silius and the colony his father is developing there. Well, I should say was developing because an explosion killed him and destroyed every bit of data about the colony except one floppy disk. Remember those? Apparently Earth in 0373 will use 1980s physical media again. That's good. I mean, we've all been a little worried that it might fade into obscurity. The disk contained all Silius colony data and a note from his dad.
Dearest Jay, terrorists are gonna do terroristy things and stuff. Finish my work.
Jay vows to fight the terrorists and continue developing the colony. And that's where we begin. You start with two weapons, the handgun which has unlimited ammunition, and a three-way shotgun which depletes your gun energy meter with every blast. Throughout the game, you'll add the machine gun, homing missile, laser rifle, and grenade launcher to your arsenal. These weapons are excellent, offering better coverage, guaranteed accuracy, and more devastating blasts. But requiring expendable gun energy and having all weapons share the same gun energy meter means that, except for situational uses, you'll probably stick with the basic handgun anyway. Fortunately, you can replenish your gun energy by picking up blue capsules from defeated enemies. As for control, Jay is pretty nimble. He runs briskly, drops down for low shots, and he can jump like 15 feet off the ground. My guess is he somehow gets more air from that little mid-jump leg tuck he does. Overall, movement is tight and responsive, but the airborne physics may cause some frustrations. Sunsoft struck a slightly awkward balance between Mario's unrealistic mid-air dynamics and Castlevania's unfair mid-air determinism. In Silius, you can sort of twist and guide Jay as he falls, but not by much. It's an attempt to be realistic. If he jumped off a ledge in real life, he wouldn't be able to change his trajectory mid-fall. Of course, in real life, he'd also land in a hellish splat of broken innards, but I digress. Much has been said about the music, but it's well deserved. Composer Naoki Kodaka, who also wrote for Blaster Master and Batman, used the NES's chipset in innovative ways. opting to use the digital channel for sampled bass lines rather than drums, and the triangle channel for the kick. The result is a richly layered and unique sound that's consistently good across every track. The game follows a rather mundane formula. Move to the right, shoot things, kill enemies, don't die, kill the boss, obtain a new ability, and then repeat for 5 levels. Does this really require a diagram? And it can be relentlessly challenging at times. Damage from certain enemies is seemingly unavoidable. Red health capsules are extremely rare, and between crates falling from the sky, intermittent diarrhea machines, and trapdoor platforms, there are times when Journey to Silius feels like an exercise in self-loathing. And yet, lured by that amazing soundtrack and the unexplainable joy the game brings, I keep coming back. And so, after all we've seen, does Journey to Silius really live up to the hype? Is it fun? Yes, without a doubt, it's fun. Unfortunately for kids of the time, it was lost amidst some heavy competition in the crowded 1990 flood of releases. While in some ways the game design is pretty generic, this is overshadowed by the fact that every vital aspect, the beautiful graphics, richly layered music, and compelling gameplay are much better than average, and this synergy makes it amazing. If you like Mega Man, Contra, or toe-headed protagonists, you should journey to the nearest retro game store and journey to Silius for yourself. Thanks for watching.